All right. Now, next we have Jason Frederick Emert from the USA. Now, Jason is a man of many talents. He's an attorney, a lawyer, arbitrator, public affairs consultant, strategic advisor, and professor who specializes in dispute resolution, government affairs, national security, international law, and global affairs. He's the founder and president of the Emert Group. It's a global advisory firm whose clients have ranged from members of Congress and state officials to the Prime Minister of Jamaica and global corporation. Jason previously served as the chairman of the International Young Democrat Union, a global alliance of center-right political youth organization, and a member of the board for the International Democrat Union. Similarly, he was the chairman of the Young Republican National Federation, chairman, and is currently the chairman emeritus. So, Jason, are you ready to take over? Jason? Okay, all set, Jason. Cannot hear you. Okay, good.
Thank you so much for my introduction and my bio. It's a little bit all over the place, but that's just who I am. But my big disclaimer is that everything I say here, of course, is in my personal capacity and does not in any way bind any group that I represent now or previously. So as here in my personal capacity, I want to be here. I'm so excited to hear all the speakers and passion around the forum. I wish this could be in person for many reasons, but just to feed off the energy that I'm hearing already on the internet and through our Zoom here gives me great hope for the future. So thank you so much for bringing us all together. I think this is vitally important, and I look forward to the opportunity when we can do this once again or for the first time in person. So thank you again for the opportunity. Well, let me tell you why I want to speak today and why I think it's important, because it's a really hot button issue, especially in Europe, and we're seeing it play out within the EU, and that's the great big discussion about nuclear power. And for me personally, I grew up in Tennessee, which is in the southeastern United States, and we have a massive nuclear and hydropower facilities across the state. And so I come today as a nuclear power evangelist, and it's something that I think can play a significant role in reducing carbon emissions and any serious energy policy, climate policy, and economic policy going forward must include nuclear power as part of it. Of course, we know both nuclear and hydro can produce power constantly, unlike other renewables, say solar or wind. And you have an opportunity here to have a sustainable, clean, and efficient energy source that is also cheap for the consumers. As most, I'm sure everybody knows in this room, currently 10% of the globe is powered by nuclear generation, and it's utilized by about 50 countries a year. That is going to be less as the global conversation plays out. Specific to Europe, you see Germany taking their power plants offline, nuclear power plants offline, while becoming more reliant on coal power right now, which I think is the worst form of energy and not part of a green solution to our planet. And I come from the mountains, like I said, in Tennessee. I have seen firsthand the damage that coal can do to the environment around us, and to slowly or as quick as possible reduce our dependence on coal-powered plants, I think is the best thing we can do for the environment. And not only is nuclear power important for cheap consumer production, it's also a job creator. And I know that we've talked a lot about jobs here. This is the business forum at the end of the day. And if you want a green, sustainable power source, nuclear energy is where you can derive that. In fact, in Tennessee, there is a $11.4 billion investment from the Ford Motor Company that will create 11,000 jobs. $11.4 billion investment that will create 11,000 jobs. This is because Tennessee is reliant almost 50% on nuclear power. It allows for massive production of the next generation of cars. Ford is bringing their zero emission vehicles by developing there in Tennessee, utilizing clean, efficient nuclear power. They're going to have clean, efficient running vehicles. So one begets the other. And I think that this is a positive sign, not just for the environment, but for economic growth and letting people not listen to the scare tactics that a green climate policy is a job killing policy. We can embrace climate change and secure energy policies and energy independence for each country, not by sacrificing jobs. If we embrace the future, if we embrace the technology, I think every state in our country and every country around the world can have similar economic development programs that go hand in hand on a renewable energy source and a clean outcome with what they're producing in the plant. I think this is a positive outcome. In fact, our government, if you go to the Energy Department and at it's energy.gov for anybody interested in the U.S. federal government, their view on nuclear policy, and they're clear, they're very clear about it. They take the stand that nuclear energy is clean energy. Right now, this argument is going on between Germany and France. President Macron is out in front and pushing that nuclear energy be accepted as green energy. And I tend to agree with him. I think this is the policy of the future. Like I said, our federal government says three things. Nuclear energy protects air quality. Nuclear is a zero emission clean energy source. Nuclear energy's land footprint is small, especially when you think about it in regards to solar or wind turbines. A typical, we'll say 1,000 megawatt nuclear facility in the United States needs just a little more than 1 square mile to operate. Think about that. That's also land conservation. We have wind farms require up to 3,600 or 360 times that amount of land. This is about a holistic approach to energy resources and energy policy. And thirdly, nuclear energy produces minimal waste. That's key in energy store and energy output. It's because nuclear fuel is extremely dense. So in the entire history of the nuclear fuel produced by the U.S., the nuclear industry can fit all of its waste onto a football pitch. 60 years of nuclear waste can fit on a football pitch at less than a depth of 10 meters. This is the future I think is the best for our environment. This is where we can create jobs, create sustainability, create efficiency, and provide greater outcomes for the consumers and constituents around the world. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak today. I know it's a controversial topic, but I am a nuclear power evangelist. I have lived it my entire life in Tennessee. I'm very proud of that because we very much value our ecosystem. Tennessee is home to the most visited national park, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in the United States. Over 14 million visitors come there. And the beauty of that park, the beauty of our state, the beauty of our rivers would not be the same if it wasn't for the clean, efficient energy that nuclear power has provided in our state. So thank you very much, Dr. Michael, for the opportunity, and I hope to see you in person soon.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Always like to hear what's going on over at the States. Huh? Yeah, you're right. I'm also, like you, a believer in nuclear energy. Yeah, that's the future. Thank you. We will take questions much later.